In 1991, a Catholic priest who had spent nearly 2 decades working at Saint Bede Academy in Peru, Illinois, pleaded guilty to sexually assaulting a student. Yet more than 30 years later, questions remain about how church authorities were able to mishandle the case, and why the priest remained connected to church ministry after his conviction. This is the documented history of a case that raised serious questions about abuse and institutional accountability at a high school in Peru, Illinois. Saint Bede Academy is a Catholic high school founded in 1890 and operated by the Benedictine monks of Saint Bede Abbey, who often wear robes to show their commitment to their religious group. The school has long been an institution in the Illinois Valley where parents pay money to send their children. For approximately 20 years, Samuel Pusateri served at Saint Bede Academy as a teacher, chaplain, and counselor. Then, in 1991, something came to light. According to contemporaneous news reports, Pusateri pleaded guilty to sexually assaulting an underage student. A judge sentenced him to 6 years in prison. The prosecutor in the case stated that the priest had used his position of trust and authority to take advantage of the victim. Many people unfamiliar with Saint Bede would think that would be the end of the story. But it wasn't. Years later, public records showed that Pusateri remained connected to Benedictine communities and later served as a chaplain, offering so-called spiritual care after completing his prison sentence. This aspect of the case became controversial because it raised questions about how church authorities handled clergy who had committed serious offenses. Those questions became even more prominent in 2023 when the Illinois Attorney General released a major report on clergy sexual abuse throughout the state. The report specifically discussed Samuel Pusateri at Saint Bede. According to the Attorney General's findings, church officials resisted publicly identifying him as a credibly accused abuser for years, despite the fact that he had already pleaded guilty in criminal court. The report highlighted a statement from a church representative explaining that Pusateri was not a diocesan priest but a Benedictine monk. The phrase quoted in the report was, "That's not my man." For investigators, that phrase symbolized a larger problem. The question was not whether a Benedict monk was guilty of sexually assaulting a minor. The question was who was responsible for ensuring transparency and accountability afterward. Today, the case remains a subject of discussion because it is one of many examples that demonstrate how abuse in Catholic schools is tolerated. As more historical records become available, those questions continue to be examined by survivors, journalists, investigators, and members of the public. Thank you for watching. If you want to dig deeper, consider reviewing the original court reporting and the Illinois Attorney General's report.